Hello and welcome to episode 179?
Yes,
Yeah,
179. Yep.
179 of Nola Time. My name is Obed Velez, and with me is the most interesting man in the world, Julian.
What's good, guys? Obed. Good guys and gals. We're not
Oh,
we're not
oh,
biased
we're
here.
being inclusive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we are. So
Yes, we
it's a
are.
safe place for us all to come together and have fun. That's what I love about the show, man. Good to be
Absolutely.
with you, my friend. How are you doing?
Good to see you, man. Yeah, it's good. I'm tired. I'm glad it's
Same.
Friday. For obvious reasons, we did not record yesterday. That's meaning that I was very busy with work, but we are here. We are live.
And I would say it pays off because we've got a lot of great stuff to cover today that happened between yesterday and
Yeah.
today, Friday here, April 23rd. We got a lot of good stuff to cover. And I wouldn't surprise me that more news comes into the weekend, to be honest with you.
Correct. Yeah, yeah, that's so true, man. Unfortunately, I have not catched the last episode of Falcon Winter Soldier. I don't know if
Okay.
you did.
I did.
Okay, so I will
Can't
not
comment on it.
I will not talk about it. And I've seen some things, right? But
Sure.
I have not watched it yet. So we can talk about it last week, I guess,
Yeah, we can talk about
and then we
last
can
week,
we
and
can
I'll
wrap
give
it
a
up.
no spoilers conclusion. Sure.
Impressions. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
That works. That works. Um, but yeah. Other than that, before we jump in, sir, anything going on?
Yeah. I finally, you and I have been chatting about back for. Finally, was able to grab Horizon
Yeah.
Zero Dawn. I'm so glad that they gave it to us. Sony to grab. Initially when the day for it to come up, I forget. Was last week Thursday? Was it or Friday? I can't remember.
One of those. Yeah.
Something like that, yeah. So, like, we were trying and finally got to be able to grab that. Have yet to play it, but I got it, so I'm pretty happy with that. Been spending a significant amount of time basically binging through the end of, that Spider-Man series I was talking to you about on Disney Plus.
Oh, okay.
Like, I know it's a kid show, whatever. I don't care. It's Spider-Man. I'm a kid at heart when I read Spider-Man stuff, and I think that's why his characters work so well because even the adults can get behind some of his struggles. Like there's very human parts. I mean, in one of the episodes, he talks about how to one of the guys that knows his secret identity. He's like, "Why don't you just expose your secret identity? Like Tony Stark has his identity exposed, and people know who the Hulk is, Bruce Banner, and da 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 da, whatever." And he's like, they all are up in an Avengers mansion. He's like, I live with my aunt in Queens. Like, I can't be like, putting people at risk. And there's just such a human part to that, that as ridiculous as it is, a guy climbing around walls like a spider, it's still pretty human. So I appreciate that. I
Cool.
really do recommend it on Disney Plus if you just want something casual to watch. It's just a feel good content. Last episode I've got Groot was in it, so it's pretty
Cool.
cute. Yeah, I aside from that, man, hopefully I get some good time this weekend to get into gaming. I don't have anything crazy going on. I had some stuff with family, some not nothing bad, just good things of a family that I ended up partaking in recently. So that kind of took some time away from me, but looking forward to this weekend getting into it. And getting some time in on hopefully my Switch, because that's the one that's really been hurt. I've spent a good amount of time jumping back onto Miles Morales this last weekend. That was like the only thing I actually
Okay.
played.
So let's
Um,
let's uh let's
okay,
uh let's go spoilerific because I finished it over the weekend.
okay, go into it. Yeah,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah. Yeah. Really liked it. Like overall, it really does feel like an expansion to the original. Again, going back, right?
Yeah,
Um, but it was really good, really good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Um, I really have no issues with it because they the problems that the other game has, like the padding that the other game has, is that Miles doesn't have it. Um, and I think it was very straightforward, very lean, but at the same time very satisfying. So it was like that. It was like a like when you go to a restaurant and you see that they have the 12-ounce steak, but you're just like, you know what? I don't feel like eating that much. I'll have that 8 ounce, and that 8 ounce is cooked perfectly. That's basically my
it's a good
analogy.
comparison.
Yeah, it was good. I it was sad, and I know again, Miles spoiled something that happens on the other game. I'm not gonna spoil it yet. We can talk about it when I finish it, and I'll let you know where I am on that too.
Sure.
Um, but overall, man, I really loved it. I just really really enjoyed the experience. Did you unlock that last suit with the hoodie and the cat?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes. It's
cool.
cute.
That's cute. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
super cute. Because when you do your finishers, the cat's like just jumping out of the
Yes.
backpack.
Yes.
It's super cute,
Yeah,
man.
man.
It's
It's good.
yeah, yeah. I really like that. Yeah, like the it doesn't feel like things don't feel as urgent as on the other game.
Yeah.
So it's a more I think mellow experience overall. But yeah, very satisfying still. Like once you get all those venom attacks at the end when you power it up all the
Yeah.
way and you can just basically like spam it because
Oh
it's
yeah, you're
and just
super
like
powerful at the end,
super
dude.
OP.
When
Yeah,
he's finding his uncle, the Prowler, like
Prowler.
that
Yeah,
fight, like you're just going crazy on
yeah.
him.
That Prowler fight was good.
Yeah.
I think overall all the fights were pretty decent. There's some once you get the underground guys with the big hammers and the shields
Oh yeah.
that when they get mixed up with the all the other ones, that's when it's like you gotta do your venom stuff because if
Yeah.
not, you're not
There's no
gonna.
way you're gonna crack those dudes.
Yeah, dude, that was pretty wild, but I really enjoyed it, man. Really, yeah, really
So
good experience.
so I know you did a lot of the side stuff intentionally, throughout, which makes it to me for a more enjoyable experience. For me, I was just trying to blast through most of the story. I did some side quests, but
Okay,
like I did last, like there's a few little things, but
yep,
this, like, now that I'm actually done, like I'm go finding myself, and especially with the update that they recently put in, I was like, let
yeah,
me go back in and play more of those side missions that I just never touched, just because it's such a fun open world game. You could just power it up. PS5 so fast, no load time.
yeah.
I boot it up and I'm instantly in New York City, and
Basically,
I'm swinging around like in a matter of maybe a minute, a few seconds. So
yeah,
I love it. I love it, man.
yeah, it's great. Um, yeah, there's I actually got because I finished all the side stuff, right? I did the side stuff as I was progressing in the story.
Nice.
That's how I like to play my open world games because they're so dense, and I don't want to like main the story and then do the whole side stuff because then
That's
it's
what I feel
like
about Assassin's Creed, especially. Like if you put off the side stuff, you're not going
you're
back.
not going back, and
Yeah.
that's why I do it, right? So it was again the problems that the other game has where like some of the side stuff feels like very padded and kind of annoying like the pigeons and follow the trail of this thing and the labs with like the Harry Osborn labs thing
Oh yeah.
and all that stuff. It just feels really padded and uh I don't want to say annoying because it's not necessarily annoying. Kind of some of it is. Some of the Taskmaster stuff is like they keep throwing stuff at you, right? It's a lot. Uh, I think I mean I'm enjoying both, right?
Sure.
Um, I want to say I probably enjoyed Miles a little bit more.
Yeah, they
Just
perfected upon it.
yeah, just because it's just more streamlined and there's not all that padding. That stinger at the end was pretty good though.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they like so the last thing I did in the other game, it's basically that, right? It's like, oh
Right.
crap, he's sick. We didn't know about this stuff, and then you go to the building because the helicopter crashed, and then you go in that building. So I went in the building, and that's the last thing I did on the other Spider-Man. So I'm there basically because I'm like a 91% completion or something.
Nice.
But on Miles, I got everything because once you finish all the side stuff,
Yeah.
you get two trophies. You get like um, like a silver and a gold, and then do you do the birthday stuff with
I
Miles?
did.
Man,
That was really emotional,
it
dude.
was it was so good, so good.
That you
Yeah,
ended at the basketball court and all that. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That was really nice. Really cool. Do you get the
There
Wakanda? Do you get the Wakanda suit?
no,
Not yet. Okay.
not yet.
Yeah, that's a very firm statement there, sir. And yeah, so it's good. It's basically the same suit except the red accents are gold.
That's cool.
So it's basically like a Wakanda suit.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so that was pretty good. So did that. I think the only suit that I'm missing is the one you get when you do New Game Plus because I haven't gone back and started. I may sometime this next week. But I really
My
do want to finish.
my favorite one though, you got I don't know if you mess with it too much, the Into the Spider-Verse suit, because it changes the animation. Like you take the Into the Spider-Verse animation and put it into
I
have you done that
haven't
one?
I haven't used it.
Oh,
I unlocked it, but I
dude.
haven't used it.
You gotta try it. Just to swing for a little bit. It's literally like the exact they make it where he's basically animated the same way as Into the Spider-Verse,
Oh, like
but
missing
in the world.
frames.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude.
Oh man,
It throws your mind. You're like, it's like I'm literally playing the movie. It's amazing.
man. Okay, I gotta go back.
Yeah.
But yeah, on the other Spider-Man, that's where I am. So hoping to finish it sometime this week, and then I gotta go back to Sekiro because I only did. I was like 3 hours in and got stuck in a boss, but I'll power through. So I should be fine. Um, also still on that New Game Plus run of Bloodborne still.
Wow. Oh my
That
goodness.
stupid game, man.
Wow.
Oh, that game's so good. So I got to the point where I'm not like paying attention to what I'm doing. Because even on New Game Plus, it's like it's hard, but it's like nothing too crazy right now. Like I'm actually getting good. Um, I melted a couple of bosses. Like there's like, oh, there's this boss. Let's go ahead and use these two items, and life bar melts. Like yeah. So it's good. Game's real good, man. It's it's a very unique experience. I'm only missing two trophies, Joe,
Wow.
for the platinum on that one.
Wow.
I may power through like when I'm done with this run, and even right now I can probably jump in and try and get those two trophies. It's just a matter of like me wanting to go back into the stupid chalice dungeons and hate them. Although right now I'm like super overpowered for the chalice dungeons, so it shouldn't be a problem at all. But very good game, very good game. All right, let's go. Falcon Winter Soldier last week. So last week we knew that they were going to have to do something, and we knew that they were going to have to go back and get the shield. So that's exactly what they did. They got the shield back. Again, spoilers for last week if you haven't watched. No spoilers for this week because I haven't watched it.
No, no spoilers.
So, um, that fight in the warehouse was really good. It's real good, well choreographed. It looked good. Everyone looked good. So no major issues there. You can tell right in that episode, and again, I'm not gonna go in stuff that happened today, and you can I could probably tell from your facial expressions if I'm right or wrong, right? But we kind of see that basically Walker was on a high from the serum, and when he goes back and talks to the a family of his friend, I forgot his name, um, and you can tell that again he's not necessarily a bad person. It's just that the weight that comes with the name of or the title of Captain America was just too much for him to bear, and that's where all the problems basically stemmed off. Um, so there was this big mystery like cameo, and it ended up being Julia Louise Dreyfus as Val. And correct me if I'm wrong, she's like Shield's number two. She's like under Nick Fury, or she's supposed to be something else in this show.
So yeah, so she's uh, so let me like I don't like it's clearly the way they're portraying her, she is like a Nick Fury type of character, but the way her character is supposed to be is not necessarily like as evil as it might seem. Put that way. Like they make it seem like she's evil, but
Nefarious, yeah, but
right, nefarious.
hmm
Um, but she's also not necessarily like a friend, if that makes sense.
yeah.
She's kind of somewhere in the middle.
She's like a like Suicide Squad lady.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, Amanda Waller.
yeah, like Waller. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yep.
So it was interesting to see her. It's like good to see her. I think she's a great actress. She's really funny, and it's good to see her on anything she's on. You know, since Seinfeld and Veep, I heard is phenomenal. So,
Oh yeah.
um, man, and again, I wanted Bucky to step up, right, and make the choice. But at the end of the day, Sam did it, and that I'm fine with that. And because I knew, right, like I bet that I was in my mind, right. It's like, oh, we know that the Wakanda thinks a suit, and we know what's up. And I've seen the suit from the comics before, so I saw the pictures this morning because, of course, I did.
It's everywhere.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, that's pretty accurate, and I'm gonna move on and not want to know anything about anything else because I just want to watch the episode and enjoy it. Um, so yeah, I'm excited to see what the last episode is, and I've heard mixed stuff regarding that last episode. I heard mixed stuff about this last one, and to me, it was very well
Yeah.
paced, and it was a great episode in my opinion. So, Joe, without spoiling, your impressions on last week and this week's episode.
Yeah, last week's episode was I love that action sequence that we get right away with, Bucky and Falcon taking down using basically some wrestling moves at the end there. Take this guy down was
Yeah,
pretty awesome.
armbar. Yeah,
Yeah, and everybody like loves to hate on this character at this moment, right?
yep,
So it kind of like kind of gave the fans a little fun little moment there, and also I love the consistent from the very first episode, the whole idea of you've been handed a shield, you've basically been handed a mantle, and seeing how it emotionally like Sam can't run from the shield anymore. It's a responsibility, and the conversation that he has with Isaiah again, talking about how like he understands he's not just representing America, but he's representing a minority group that historically were not given the type of respect that they deserve. So I mean it's a really heavy topic to have on a show, and it can
yeah,
make many people uncomfortable. And that's kind of what I like without getting into it with this next final episode. So I mean, like for me, like what they do, there's a very very political monologue at the end of this last episode. I mean, just complete. It's like basically a speech is being given, in my opinion. Um, and I I appreciate it. It's probably because politically I'm more so aligned with some of the messages that are also being put in there. But I
yeah,
can understand where some people who are not looking for that, it might make them feel a little uncomfortable. At the end of the day, it's Falcon Winter Soldier or Captain America and the Winter Soldier. Wink, wink.
yeah,
Um, like it's all based about literally the country, the nation, and the politics of the nation. Of all the shows to do it, this is the one, right? So,
yeah.
like, if you would put these kind of politics in WandaVision, it would be really weird. It would not fit right. It wouldn't make sense.
Yeah,
This is
they're different, right? Because the
they're
One
different.
Division is more of a fantasy show, and this is
Exactly.
more grounded. Yeah,
Exactly. So it's I don't think it's Marvel doing this for the sake of crossing a mark. Like I don't think this is like Disney trying to do something. I think this is genuinely like if we're gonna do something like this, we have to cover some of it, and it's done to me in a very graceful way that you still entertain. With all that being said, man, the action in this last one, I feel like I went to a movie theater, dude, sitting in front of my TV watching this thing.
nice.
So much fun. I actually clapped, dude. Like I was just having a great time watching this final episode. I know that there's a lot of complaints in regards to some unclosed doors, and it kind of felt like an ending that's not really an ending, almost like when a TV show
Well,
season gets cut and like it's not going to be renewed and it's like a forced end. It does kind of feel a little forced. Like it's a cool ending, but there's a lot of things that it's like, wow, like this I feel like I'm supposed to have another 2 more episodes at least.
so that's the
But
thing because they said that more than likely there will be another season. Of
oh
course, we
yeah,
got the news today, right? And
right.
we can
That's
go into now that
exactly
there is a Cap movie with Sam in the works, and
right.
you know the story will continue. Um, versus One Division being a more encapsulated thing that's going to connect to more bigger things. And Elizabeth Olsen had an interview. They asked her about
Yeah.
Doctor Strange, and she said that it was bonkers. And yeah,
Yeah. I
so
love it, dude. I'm so hyped for that.
yeah, man.
Um
So very
yeah,
exciting.
yeah, like clearly the very end or the post credit stinger, and I won't get into it for Falcon and Winter Soldier. Like, you know instantly there's gonna be another season. There's just no doubt about it. Them having a movie definitely seems necessary because this is like you're basically resetting this character for the Avengers very clearly. So now you've got to install him now as the new Captain America for the Avengers films. So I can see why they're doing what they're doing. Fun fact for you, Obed,
Uh-huh.
and our viewers and listeners is that allegedly Deadline is reporting that this one is not that. First of all, Chris Evans is still working on a project with Marvel, despite what Kevin Feige has said publicly, which we talked about here. So allegedly, Chris Evans, Steve Rogers is still going to be coming back, but it's not for this movie. It's not for this Captain America 4. It's for another project.
It's probably going to be
So
another big team
it's
up
got to be
thing.
big. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's got to be something big that clearly requires whether another the universe timeline, whatever it is. So that's an interesting fun fact. Allegedly, according to Deadline, I would believe it personally. I
Oh
think
yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
true.
Yep.
That yeah, he's still coming back. So
Cool.
yeah, dude. I can't get into it much more because obviously, we'll talk about it next week when we can get into spoilers and some
Yeah.
moments and stuff. But I don't really understand why people like. I think like IGN gave it like a 5 or
A
something
five.
like that, and
Yeah, yeah,
I
man.
didn't fully understand that far. I can see people saying like, oh, it didn't do it for me, but to be that bad, like it's a good finale. I don't think it's a disaster by any means. Like I don't get that.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, we'll
We'll get into
see.
it next week.
Joe, before we jump into the topics, of course, we already talked about Cap. Um, there's more Spidey rumors. I don't know if you've heard.
I've seen a few things.
Okay, so one of the rumors being that one big character from the MCU, Spidey, is going to die in the movie. Some say it's Aunt May. Some say it's MJ because they want like. Of course, we probably know that Zendaya is probably not going to be back for the next one, and she being like a fake MJ, right? Um, there's those rumors, right, that a big character is going to die. Um, they're saying that the main villain is again Willem Dafoe as Green
Absolutely.
Goblin.
I believe that.
That they're going to be using a lot of de aging tech for him and Alfred Molina for with their characters.
Yeah, for sure.
So
No offense to those guys.
no, I mean, dude, the original
It's
Spider-Man was
technology.
almost 20 years ago, right? Because it was like
Literally.
2002, maybe.
This new one's
Wow.
coming back out. There's gonna be kids watching this that weren't even alive when
Oh,
those
seriously,
movies
bro.
came out. So
There's kids gonna go watch this movie when the Garfield movies
yeah, it's their
were
first time.
coming out. Some were saying that it's gonna be the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man that's gonna die, make like the sacrifice, right? I don't buy it because it's like, why bring him back and kill him off? You don't you hate him already, like kind of thing. Um, but there's a lot of rumors again that they're setting up for a lot of big stuff, and again based on these rumors and information that's out there, um, this movie's gonna be freaking crazy, dude. It's gonna
I
be
know.
it's
I
gonna be
know.
great. Um, like what's not being discussed is that are there more Spideys? Is how do they get there? How do they go back? All that stuff is not um leaked out. But there's like major like not major but things here and there that seem very plausible, and they're coming from different people that are saying basically the same thing. So
Yeah.
it's kind of matching up. Um, I'm up to the point, Joel, that I'm gonna stop watching any like plot stuff in that movie until the trailer comes out.
You
Cause
don't have a Last Jedi effect where you feel like you got to figure it out. It's a completely different movie. But no, I
yeah,
think you've got
yeah,
a point. You got a point though. Like they keep saying mostly the same stuff. There's clearly something there.
yeah, yeah. So, but I am so excited. I am so
Yeah.
excited for this movie. It's ridiculous. Like I've never been so excited about a Spider-Man ever, ever, dude. Spider-Man 3, maybe. I was
What?
really excited and
Yeah,
left
yeah.
very
I was pretty hyped for
disappointed.
that, man.
Yeah, Spider-Man 3, I was super hyped for, man.
Pretty hyped for
I went
that.
to the movie theater. I was like, this movie's gonna be crazy, and it was crazy in the other sense of the word. Although there's probably one of the most memorable scenes in probably movie history, and it's the Sandman scene when he's waking up. That scene is so good. So even
Yeah.
to this day, it's just really good. And they're saying that Sandman's gonna be back too.
I know. I
So
heard that
yeah,
too. Yeah.
yeah,
At
man.
this point, like, I'm not surprised anyone's in this movie.
Yeah, yeah. Well, so I don't know. James Franco is gonna be
Yeah. Do it. Do it, dude.
doing it. I would go all out, bro.
Why
Again, I'm
not?
telling you, they're setting up. Allegedly they're setting up for Spidey 4, and
I know. If they
yeah,
do that,
yeah, bro.
I'm telling you, you're
So
gonna
so
see Joel lose his wig on the show.
so here's the thing. Will they use the armor from Spider-Man 1 now that they have the technology to make Green Goblin look like Green Goblin? Because I'm sure you've seen the test footage, right, from the mask, the animatronic
Yeah.
mask.
Yeah.
So are they going to go back and finish that mask? Because that's the reason they didn't use it, is because it kept breaking,
Yeah.
and they just couldn't figure out the tech that they needed. But now, you know, they have it. So what do you think?
I would love to see that happen.
Yeah.
I don't really care because you kind of like embrace it as time goes on, right? But at the same point, like, yeah, it'd be cool.
Yeah, but the problem that we get with that specific Green Goblin is that we cannot see emotion. Like we can't see facial expressions. We cannot
That's
see
what makes the
eyes.
foe so amazing, dude.
I know, but see, that's the thing. Because the foe is a great
I know.
act, like physical actor.
Yeah.
Like when you watch like his
He's
some of his
Shakespearean, dude.
he is like when you go back and watch like Platoon and his old stuff, it's nuts, right? Like he can talk with his eyes and he doesn't have to say a word, and that was lost in the
Yeah,
original Spider-Man.
that's true.
So I would want to like see. I would like a mix. I would like the false eyes on everything. It's like
Sure, why not?
Steve Buscemi's eyes on
Oh my gosh. Oh, those are hilarious.
but Defoe, because I think he's a great actor and he can
Oh yeah.
he could make a big impact on it. So
I couldn't stop laughing whenever I'd see him come up in the Snyder cut because he's got
yeah,
that long hair wig going on and he's
yeah,
wearing this armor and he's standing like so Shakespearean,
he's
like,
very
come with
Shakespearean.
me. Like
Yeah,
this dude is like another
embrace
level
your
of actor.
destiny.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
he's not like these new guys. He gives it
yeah,
a certain like regalness to it. It's great.
yeah, yeah. Um, Yeah, so I would like to see more of like his face on the Green Goblin. Maybe they can do something kind of like what they did with Davy Jones in the old parts movies.
Oh
Because
yeah.
even
Yeah,
to
that's
this
good
day,
too. Yeah,
because that even to this day, man, that holds up pretty good.
for
So
sure.
uh, they can definitely pull something like that, and I would be happy.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Anywho, Spidey, I mean, based on the rumors, is shaping up to be, definitely an experience. I'm hoping to see Miles. I'm hoping to see someone else. they might as well just go all out because they don't know,
My
right?
expectations really high, dude. Like if I'm disappointed,
Mm,
like I'm trying not to be buttered because like I have high. I'm expecting one like maybe like top three greatest superhero movies of all time. Like
yeah,
high expectations, and I gotta control myself because
yeah,
that might be unrealistic. But man, if these half of these things are true,
yeah.
it's gonna make this fanboy Spider-Man fanboy
Oh, Star Wars.
big fan. I love Star Wars too,
Again,
dude.
again, we go back to you can give out a powerful message without being preachy and
Oh
like
yeah.
what like Falcon Winter Soldier's doing, and
Oh my
you don't
goodness,
have to
yeah.
make a joke out of your entire universe. Anywho,
Yeah.
um, segue into Disney Plus because last week we briefly touched on Sony making a big deal with Netflix for their streaming rights for their movies. But we now also know that Disney is adding Spider Man based on this deal after Netflix. So I believe the deal is that after the movies come out, 9 months later, they're going to be on Netflix. And then after a period of time, they are going into Disney Plus. But yeah, go ahead, Jill.
Yeah, the idea is the same timing that like you would see these things on FX or TNT if you have cable television. Excuse me. Like those that same timeline that you would see that is when you would end up having these movies show up on Disney Plus. So it's gonna take a while for it to get there. But it will get there, and when it does, it will be a part of the library and you'll be able to access all these movies in one place. So I can't complain about that. Like, yeah, but it'd be cool to have right away. Guess what? I got Netflix too, so I'm gonna watch it there anyways. I'm gonna buy these movies. I mean, that's just no way around that either.
Yeah.
It's Spider-Man, why not? But I love this news because that was one of the things that we talked about last week when we talked about the Sony deals. Like, cool, great for Netflix. But man, it would have been cool to have had those Spider-Man movies. Well, our voices have been heard, our prayers have been heard, and here it is. Disney Plus gets another one added to the Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah. The only one that's missing is Hulk,
I
Incredible
know.
Hulk. So
Yeah.
is that going to happen? I don't know. I mean, Universal's like,
Why not, man? Why not, right? Like at
um,
some point.
is Universal doing their own thing or are they in with HBO?
No, a Universal has their I
Well, they
don't
got
think
Peacock, right? But
yeah, technically it's NBC. Yeah, you're
yeah,
right. You're right.
but it's like not for like movies because
No.
Peacock is more
They have
TV.
movies on there, but not like big
Yeah,
movies.
and I know that like the Fast and the Furious stuff is on HBO.
Right.
So I think wasn't
They're probably thinking about it.
yeah. I mean, they do have a decent catalog. Like
Oh, for sure.
Universal goes back. They
You
have a
got the
lot of
Jurassic Park movies,
they,
old and new. You
yeah,
know,
they
you've
got a
got your
lot of
Transformers, which was Paramount though as well.
that's Paramount.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
you got
And
you got some properties
yeah, and they got a lot of legacy properties like the
for
old
sure.
monster movies, the old Kongs and all that.
Like
So
Gladiator, theirs, I think.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to that supposed Disney buying MGM? I haven't heard anything more about
Haven't
that.
heard anything, which
Yeah,
means that's probably cooking. They're probably still talking about it.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I don't doubt it. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, interesting stuff happening with the Spider-Man distribution rights. Uh, Shang-Chi, Joe, a movie that I was sleeping on because I thought it's like, okay, it's a Marvel movie. I'm not too familiar with the character. You know, I know Iron Fist, but I'm not familiar with Shang-Chi. And I was like, okay, I mean, I was indifferent towards it.
Yeah.
This movie looks dope. This movie looks really good,
Nice.
man. I was very impressed. Very, very impressed with this trailer. So another exciting movie to add to the list, I guess. So yeah, very good. Like visually, this movie looks great. Looks like the fighting choreography is incredible. You know, based on just the shots that we got.
Oh yeah.
A little like like mystical kung fu cinema there too. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, man, looks good. Looks good. What do you think?
I am so excited for this movie, man. Like I am with you. Like I'm happy. Like, okay, it's probably gonna be a cool movie because it's Marvel, but like, it wasn't one of those top of my radar. As I've said before, Doctor Strange 2 is my big film of this next phase. Like, I already knew from Comic Con that was the one. But now as I see this, like, this looks like this could be up there with like the Black Panthers, like those like the Marvel like well received around the world, like very big blockbuster movies. I could see this
With
being big.
China's Black Panther.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, man. But I mean, Black Panther did really well around the entire world, dude.
Oh
Like
yeah,
that
yeah,
movie
yeah.
made like was like 2 billion or some crazy. Like
Yeah, that movie
people
did
just kept
really, really
watching it all
well. Yeah,
over.
and
Um,
that's why I'm on the team that
yeah,
wants a recast. I think
for sure.
I don't think they should just get rid of the character.
No,
It just
you
doesn't
got
work
you.
for continuity, and just
I mean, if
honor
anyone can
honor
do it,
the
it'd be Ryan Coogler, but it would be felt.
yeah honor the legacy and just keep trucking because yeah
Yeah. I agree. I agree.
yeah
I'm okay with it too.
yep.
Um, yeah. So, but the Shang-Chi, I think, could be one of those movies that like we see talked about big. It's either gonna be like an Ant-Man movie or it's gonna be like I'm saying like a Black Panther. It's gonna be something of that level of an introduction for a big character like this. And it's cool that we're gonna see him first this way. He didn't show up in any of the Avengers movies or anything like that.
Hmm.
Um, the 10 rings, so it's really more like 10 bracelets, from
Oh
watching the trailer.
yeah.
And I was like, I don't know how I feel about that, to be honest. Like, it's like, wraps around the arm. I'm assuming that that's the rings. That's what most of us have been saying, of the assumption from what they show in the trailer.
I don't
Could
think
be
so.
wrong. Maybe,
Yeah,
maybe.
I don't think so. I think
Okay.
something darker.
Okay. 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 Interesting.
Oh, see what I
Interesting.
did
I like
there?
that. I like that.
Yeah.
I love the real Mandarin being in this thing. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness, it gives
Yeah.
me so much joy to see that and know
Yeah.
that. Um, like I'm not as butthurt as I originally was with Iron Man 3. Like
I
I
think it
was not
was a good
happy.
twist. I thought it was
I
good.
think it's aged better. Like
Yeah.
as time has gone on, like it doesn't. If you have asked me right away, I've been like, "What are you doing? What the heck? Like this is ridiculous."
That's why Tony Stark is gonna come back somehow because
Look,
they
man.
gotta go at it.
So our friend that said that this guy didn't Pedro Pascal didn't want to wear a mask and gave out fake news stuff or whatever. Uh, she puts out a tweet about see, I was right that there's gonna be an AI Tony Stark in the Shang-Chi movie, and it's a picture of a toy that on the back of the toys, like there's other toys, there was at the pictures of the other toys in the line for the movie, and it had Shang-Chi's outfit for the movie. This is before the trailer even came out. So the
Mm.
outfit was the same as what was there. And it also said that there was an AI Tony Stark as well that was going to be in there. So
A
I don't know what to
hologram or
say about
something.
that. The hologram, right? So I
Yeah.
don't know what to say about that. We'll see. But look, we knew Steve Rogers was not done. We knew that there was going to be something with him, and I strongly believe that Robert Downey Jr. is not done as Iron Man. I don't believe he's. I like it's very hard for me to accept that. And when I say that, I don't mean it's going to be like back to the old days, resurrected, and everything's the same. But I just don't think that character is over. So,
Can,
and
can I
did you see
blow?
the billboards? Did you see that trending the other day?
No.
So I think it was yesterday. Look it up if you get a chance. But there was a Save Tony Stark billboard that went up
Oh
in
yeah,
Los
yeah, yeah,
Angeles
yeah,
that some
yeah,
fans
yeah.
paid for.
It's like
Bring them back
we
home,
want
Marvel.
bring back Tony Stark or whatever.
Bring back
Yeah,
Tony
yeah, yeah. I
Stark.
saw it. I
So
saw it. I saw it. Yep.
are we happy that we're gonna have Riri Ironheart? It's not the same. She's Ironheart, but there's also the Iron Man. So you can have both.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah. So can I blow your mind for a second?
Do it.
Can I go like I'm gonna go off the rails, right?
Okay, I
I'm gonna go
guess.
off the rails here, Joel.
Oh boy.
It's gonna
Buckle
be
up.
a an O conspiracy theory time. O
Oh,
anon.
okay,
It's gonna
okay.
be O anon.
Put on your tinfoil hats
Yeah. Put
and
on your.
get ready.
What if they're having a conversation? The Spider-Man are having a conversation about their suits. It's like, oh, I had to make mine myself. Oh, I did this in a lab and I did this something else. Hey, mine was made by Tony Stark, and then when Tony Stark is like the billionaire is like, and Tobey Maguire comes out and pulls out a picture of Tony Stark and he's Tom Cruise in his universe.
I would love that,
That would
dude.
blow your mind, dude.
I would love that
Even
because
if
we
it's
all
just a
know he
picture,
was supposed to be him.
even if it's just a picture
Even if
of
it's just
him,
a
it's
picture.
like,
I would
oh
love that. I
man,
would love if he was in the movie for a hot second, but just to get a picture is good
yeah,
enough.
yep. Um, anything can happen, right? When there's money involved, there's
Oh
the
yeah.
properties are popular, actors want in on it, and
Yeah, it's not like
anything can
Marvel's not the
happen.
same as it was when it approached Tom Cruise back
Oh
then
yeah,
versus where they are now. They can approach Tom with a very
absolutely, with
different
a
kind of
very
offers.
different pocket. It's
Yeah.
like yeah, back then they were still broke.
Right. It's like, hey, so
Although I mean,
yeah.
I no, honestly speaking, dude, I think Tom Cruise would have been a pretty decent Tony Stark.
Oh, sure, he would have been fine. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
We got
So
like the perfect casting, with Robert Downey Jr.,
yeah,
but
it was
yeah,
one. Yeah, that's a once in a lifetime casting there. Yeah,
absolutely.
it's yeah. It's like a one in a million kind of
Yeah.
scenario on that one. But yeah.
That's like Patrick Stewart playing,
Oh, like Patrick
Professor
Stewart
X.
with X
Like
Men,
there's
bro. That's
the
yeah.
best. Yeah.
It's like you. There's like no. I think those two are probably the best cast
Yeah.
characters in the entirety of like any like comic book movies or anything.
Yes.
I mean, other than like Henry Cavill as Superman, I
Yeah,
think
he's
that's
also,
pretty.
yep, that's a
I
good
think
one.
that's
Yep.
pretty perfect.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, man, it's it could get sweaty, Joe. It could get sweaty.
The
So
multiverse, bro.
bring your hand towels, sir.
Oh,
So to the
yeah.
movie theater, it's like sweaty hands and pat your
I'm gonna
head.
look like I'm in like one of those like southeast revivals or something, like fanning myself and with the towel. It's whew. I'm telling you, bro, it's gonna be an experience, bro. I'm gonna feel that one deep in my spirit.
Oh man,
Yeah,
man, it's good. That's good.
man.
Um, yeah, like this movie, and again, based on just the interview information that we've heard about Doctor Strange, anything can happen, and it wouldn't surprise me, man, that we get some kind of like big crazy surprise. There's another like Wolverine thing that someone was teasing something Wolverine related. But I can't remember if it was for Doctor Strange or something like super like that's that's gonna be the movie that's gonna open the floodgates,
Oh
right?
my
And
gosh.
I just don't know where
I
this is going.
strongly feel like between Doctor Strange, Spider-Man 3, like those are basically like sequels, and like WandaVision's kind of like a prequel-ish kind of thing that's going to be going on there. And I
Mm-hmm.
won't be surprised if there's a third movie, which is what they have not been talking to us about. That kind of like that's why I feel like Doctor Strange movie is like it is a pillar for the future of the Marvel
Oh
Cinematic
yeah,
Universe. Like it is going to be so important, kind of like how Civil War was very important for the those Avengers
yeah,
films. Or so I could see this being like a very you got to see it kind of thing. So
yeah. And I
we'll
don't
see.
know, like I don't know, I really don't know, but I got a very good feeling about that movie.
Same.
Like it's and it's funny because I didn't. And, we've spoken about how I feel about the original Doctor Strange. It's like
Mm-hmm.
it's it's good, but this just doesn't really move my needle. And
Sure.
it is what it is. It's a good movie, but it just doesn't like it really didn't speak to me. Right? It had its moments, and it was
The
super
visuals are probably the
like
best stuff.
visually. Yeah, visually it was very very good. But at the end of the day, it just didn't really do anything for me. Versus now for this one, like I have a very good feeling about it. Like I think, and it's strange that I'm really hyped for it, but
Strange.
no pun intended. But yeah. Joe, one thing that we were missing on our notes is that Russell Crowe's gonna be playing Odin on Thor.
Zeus.
Zeus, I'm sorry, not Odin. Zeus.
Yeah.
Yeah. On Love and Thunder. So
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
yeah,
That's a good choice.
it is.
I
Yeah.
have very mixed feelings about that movie, man. Taika Waititi is one of the people who can give you an amazing film or something that could be something else, man. So we will see.
I don't think he's gonna go too crazy. It's Marvel.
I know. We'll
They
see, man.
wrangled it back a little bit. You know, we'll
I
see.
know.
Yeah, Ragnarok was good. Like,
Right, I agree.
I think
I agree. If it's based off Ragnarok, we're fine.
it's a movie that I thoroughly enjoyed, and
But I'm
I
more excited for this Loki show than I am for this this Thor. Like that Loki show
Loki
looks
looks good.
so good.
That show looks really good, dude.
It
We
might be,
didn't talk about that trailer, but
it might
yeah.
be better than those other
Then
than even WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier. Like Loki, which
yeah,
is
man.
crazy to think of all characters Loki, but that looks so,
Well,
and
I
the
mean,
budget looks
he
crazy.
was always like well liked, like since the
Oh,
first
sure.
Thor. Like he's
Charisma.
always been the highlight of the Thor movies. He really brought like he was the perfect villain to put on the first Avengers. You know, he was charismatic. We knew him, and they really did a good play there. Um, and he was great on Ragnarok. So
Oh, for
yeah,
sure.
I am very much looking
Yeah,
forward
that
to
show
Loki,
looks
sir.
a must.
Yep. Um, some PlayStation news here, Joe.
Yes, sir.
Um, talk about a course correction here. So we talked about last week about the confirmation that the PS3 and Vita shops shutting down. Basically, the PSN shop section for PS3 and Vita were getting shut down. You can still download any games that you've purchased, but you will not be able to make any new purchases. And uh, basically, that would have been it, right? So, course correction. Jim Ryan came out this week and said that they are not going to, after evaluating fan outrage, they are not shutting down the PS3 and the Vita store. They are, however, sunsetting the PSP store. I'd say about time. Unfortunately, PSP has been around for
I
almost
don't know.
20 years, right?
I don't know who's downloading those
P-
still, man.
Bro, PSP came out in like 2004 in
Yeah.
Japan, so it's been a
I
minute.
love my PSP. The memories I've had with that thing.
See, I always wanted one, never got one, but then got a Vita later, and
Oh,
Vita was
good for
pretty
you,
good.
man.
Like Vita
Yeah.
was great, and
Vita's great.
and I downloaded a few PSP games that I wanted to
Sure.
play. I mean, there's a few that were never available digitally, like Final Fantasy VII. What's it called? Crisis Core. Will never come out. Digitally, I have to buy the disc or the UMD for it. But yeah,
UMD, Universal Media Disc. I remember that. Oh
Universal
man.
Media Disc. Do you buy any movies?
Oh my
Do you buy any
gosh.
movies on a UMD, Joe?
I did not. I had a lot of friends that had movies, but I ended up being that guy who put movies on his disc, on his
Oh,
memory stick.
on the memory stick. Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I'll say
Remember
less.
memory
The internet's
sticks?
a place.
Yeah, remember memory sticks?
I know.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, man.
Still use
So
yours for your Switch, basically. It's a little a micro SD. But
yeah, well, that memory stick that Sony had, the proprietary one.
oh, I know.
Yeah. I mean it had like I don't know, it had like a piracy thing that like a copy protection thing that you can
It did.
enable. Yeah, and that was good, but that just didn't go anywhere. Like micro
Sony's
SDs. Yeah.
Sony's big on custom stuff at that time. I mean, I think of the Cell engine and all that, like on the PS3. Like everything was
Yeah.
very like
It,
developers had to work to them.
it was everything was very proprietary at that time, yeah. And even for the Vita, like coming out with
Yeah.
those like very expensive memory cards, dude, that was like ridiculous.
Kids will never know, man.
Bro, I don't remember how much I paid for my 32 gig.
Oh,
I think I paid like $100 for it.
I was say 100 easy. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was gonna buy a 64 from like Play Asia because it came out in Japan, and you could buy it. It was cheaper to buy like an like an imported version of the card than buying
Yeah.
the one in the US. but then I found I had like an old cell phone, and I traded it into GameStop. They gave me like $120, and I bought it.
Traded in your
I was
cell
like,
phone for a scam.
I want that thing. I want that memory.
Oh my
I want
goodness.
that memory card for the Vita.
I
No,
was too young to realize that that trade-in was a scam. I was like, "Yeah,
oh,
I'm
for
gonna go trade
GameStop.
in stuff, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
then spend the like." I feel bad.
The last time I
Oh my
traded in
gosh!
stuff at GameStop was no lie, and I remember it. It was a few months after I got my PS3, and I traded in a bunch of PS2 stuff for Ninja Gaiden Sigma for PS3.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean I was broke back then, so I was
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah,
I should have not bought that PS3. I spent the $700 on it,
yeah.
but yeah, man.
No, I
Uh,
hear you, man. There's
you're
some
young and
there's one
reckless.
game. Yeah, I'm trying to
Yeah.
remember which one, but there was one game. If I could remember it, I'm like, why did I do that? It's for PSP, and I'm like, what are you doing?
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah.
Whatever.
See, like the PS2 stuff that I let go, um, I don't mind it, right? What I really do mind is the stuff that I lent when I was in high
Oh
school that it was
no,
never returned to me,
borrow. Yeah.
like my Saturn stuff and my Genesis and Sega CD games. Like all that stuff got lost in school, man.
You're too nice of a guy, man.
I am too gullible. I was.
Not anymore.
That's not anymore. It's like come ask feet. Yeah, it's like, hey, can I borrow? No. How much
Yeah.
is it? Work for it and buy yours.
Nice.
Oh, bro. I
Yeah,
know
man. No, you got you
you
got to
cannot
protect
borrow
your
it.
stuff.
Bro, yeah.
This
Dude,
stuff
I
costs
lost
money.
literally hundreds of dollars.
Oh yeah.
Like my Saturn games alone with what I had right now with those games that I had because I had them all complete
Yeah.
in box, right?
Oh,
And
dude.
I lost them all. No lie, it right now to replace all those games, it's probably like 2 grand.
That
It's
hurts.
probably like
Oh
two.
my
Yep,
gosh.
it's probably like 2 grand. And I was actually looking into buying a Japanese Saturn not too long ago. I was looking at them on eBay. If I find one decently priced, I'll buy it. Because there's a few games that I want to get back, but I'll buy the Japanese version because it's like way
That
cheaper.
is
It's way
rough,
cheaper.
man.
But
I
yeah,
can't like just hearing that hurts, man. Like,
bro, I had like the Street Fighter collection. That I
no, stop
so the
it.
Street Fighter collection on Saturn is like 200
Oh,
bucks right now. I had
oh
Mega Man
man.
7 for Saturn, dude. That's like $150 by itself.
People abused you, man.
Yep.
Like that is to take that from
Marvel
you. Like, what on
superheroes,
earth?
X-Men versus Street Fighter, the Japanese version. I paid like $100 for it, and
Man,
it's gone.
gone.
R.I.P. My Sega CD games, dude. That was not so bad because that one's like if I'm going to
Sure.
buy all the Sega CDs that I lost right now, it'd probably be about $300 to $500 maybe.
That's bad enough, dude.
It's
It's the
bad, but it's not as
principle.
bad as
It's
the
the
Saturn,
principle
dude.
of it, dude.
But it's not as bad as the
You have to
Saturn.
spend another $500 considering like you
No.
had it.
See, there's only a few things that I
Oh,
would buy again, like Robo List and
yeah.
Final Fight. I would not go buy anything else. Like those are the games that I really
Yeah.
wanted. Like those were my favorite ones. So, but yeah,
Wow.
just we're veering off.
No, I
But
think
yeah,
our
so well, we're talking about games preservation, right?
right.
So PS3,
Change the narrative.
PS3 and Vita, right? So
Yes.
now you do have the opportunity to uh buy
Especially it's
games.
digital, man. Like these
Yeah.
are digital copies. Like why I understand the support element of them turning it off. Like that, like if they were to do that, like that would probably help maybe some of their efforts. But at the same time, the passion of the community, like really not wanting them to do it just yet. That's pretty
Yeah.
cool that they were able to turn around and say, you know what, we'll keep it live because there may not be support for it. So if it crashes, too bad. But hey,
It's
we're still letting you the
yeah.
opportunity to get the stuff. It's digital, like we said. Like, why not? Especially PS3.
Yeah. I mean, I wonder if they can potentially move this to like a cloud server somewhere that's
Yeah.
not really not going to be that much money to keep up because that's probably what it is, right? It's like they're not making money out of those stores. So why pay hundreds of dollars a month, thousands of dollars a month to keep this infrastructure up and running when you're not making money. Um, if they find a solution, why not? I mean, they're in
Yeah.
partnership with Microsoft for sure for all their PS5 stuff. So there's might as well just put this somewhere in an Assure box and in the cloud, and it'll be fine.
Yep.
So, but that's good, right?
Good
They're
news.
that means that they're listening, that they're not as tone deaf as people thought they were, because they it was a big deal. Jim Ryan hates
Well,
us.
especially after the news with the Last of Us remastered remake
Oh, the
thing, like
remake, yeah,
that
yeah,
whole thing was not making Jim look good, and then you have this thing shutting down. I think people were just angry.
yeah,
They needed
yeah.
a week of good news.
They wanted something. They really wanted something positive.
Yeah,
So I think that was the right choice, right? And again, it shows that they're not tone deaf, and they're like, oh yeah, we don't care what you say, we don't care about old games.
which is the
So
worst. Don't mess with the consumer.
yeah, and they could do it right. I read today that they're looking for a different supplier for the that video controller that's causing the shortage.
Oh wow,
Just to up
nice.
yeah, just to up production, because it's like they can't
People
keep
still
up.
want
Do you
it.
see those sales, dude?
Yeah,
Bro.
yeah.
And people say it's like, oh, Sony's shooting themselves in the foot and no one's gonna buy the console. Like the fastest selling console in US history, dude.
It's crazy.
I mean,
They just need to keep getting them out there.
30% of them they're in the hands of scalpers, but hey, you know what?
It's angering.
That's yeah. That's
Which would not be the case if we could buy it in person. Let's just be honest, dude.
they
Like you
should.
would, if it was buying in, which is why like it was bad, but it always has been bad when one of these things drop because everybody wants them.
Yep.
But like, even if you knew, hey, I have to wait 2 hours in line, let's just say something crazy, right? I've got to wait
Yep.
2 hours in line for this thing. You still knew, hey, I'm gonna walk out of here with my PlayStation.
Yeah, man.
Like we're like, these guys can just literally send bots and just buy a bunch of them online and then stick them in their house and resell it for
Yeah.
double the price is ridiculous.
I mean, at some point, retailers are gonna have to like step up and
Yeah,
counter the bots. So,
yeah.
yeah, we'll see. Um, there's
At
also
this point, they should
rumors.
just have Series S's in person, and they should have those just on shelves, dude. Nobody's gonna fight over that.
Oh, yeah, yeah. All right. Well, Xbox. What are they doing? What are they up to? I don't know. They're being awfully quiet.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, E3's coming. You got a month.
Their silence is a little
Month
bit
change.
deafening. You're right. Yeah, they may come out in E3. Wait for next E3, and they'll
Stop.
show they'll come out and do something next E3. Joe, also PlayStation is testing a PlayStation Plus video service that's going to be part of your subscription. It's being tested in Poland of all places, and they're basically uh, giving out or giving you access to Sony movies that are available on PSN. So I have an article here, and they have a few of the movies that uh, are worth mentioning. They got Venom, they got Jumanji: The Next Level, Bloodshot, Blade Runner 2049, Rival, Sausage Party for some reason. Stupid movie. American Hustle, This Is the End, Bad Boys, the original Bad Boys. Um, so this is a service that they're putting on top of PS Plus. Like, this is not a thing that you pay separate. This is a feature, a PS Plus feature. I say about time that they actually leveraged this stuff. I remember back when the PS3 came out, and Sony had this crazy library of movies, right? Like the Spider-Mans and Casino Royale had just come out. And I was like, oh man, it would be crazy if with the PS3 you can access all these movies. And like, you needed a disc for Netflix for the longest time. Like, you need to put in
Uh,
dude, I was cleaning the
yeah.
room the other day and I found it. That Netflix PS3 boot
Oh,
disc.
yes.
That
Oh
you
my
needed to
gosh.
boot up Netflix from a Blu-ray
Yep.
disc to act.
Yep.
Yeah, because they could not, like, Netflix had an exclusivity deal with Microsoft that that was the only place that you can actually download the app and for like TV viewing, bro. And so I found it. I had it. I was like, oh my goodness, I still have this
That's
thing here. It's
hilarious.
nuts. Um, but it's very interesting that they're doing this thing. I would rather them uh, put PlayStation Now on top of PS Plus or some sort of combination of them. But
Yeah.
this is interesting, right? Uh, the streaming's a big deal. Streaming movies and TV shows is a big deal. So if they have, these are their properties, they have the infrastructure to put them out there. If it's even part of like PS Plus, I wouldn't pay extra for it, right? If they come on and say, "Hey, PlayStation Plus is going up $10, and you're gonna get TV with it now." I mean, it's $10 a year. It's not bad. So, I mean, admittedly, I would pay that, but they're testing it. If it's gonna come out, I don't know. It's gonna be up for like a month or something. So we'll see. But what do you think? Is this something that they may just keep doing, or just a one time thing just to test it out?
No, I think this is gonna happen. I don't think they would test something like this and then just dead it. They'll probably take a little bit more time based off of the feedback they get from the testers. People might say change this, do that, whatever. But from what I understood, is it's gonna be similar to like how some apps, where like basically like you have the ability to watch free content like there's gonna be like free films already on there, and then there's gonna be like subscription only. So that's going to be interesting to see how that works if that's the case. But considering how, like, we just joked about it, like, there's a ridiculous amount of people, and I say this positively, that want the PS5. Like, the desire for the PS5 is just so increasingly high right now that it's like if you've got most of the world, not just America, but you've got most of the world wanting to get their hands on this thing, and a lot at some point they're going to end up getting it. At some point they're going to have enough out there that these people who
Yeah,
still have the desire are going to buy it, and it's going to be in their homes. Why not offer them something that is somewhat exclusive to your brand, where people already are buying your console, and then give them a way to now spend even more money to have this type of service, where we know streaming services are highly in demand. And Sony does have, like you were saying, they have a catalog, the library, to make it garner enough interest. Like, it's not something that they've only got one or two films. Like, they've got enough on in their library, I think, to pique some people's interest. So from the list you even already said, like, Venom or Blade Runner or stuff like that, like, yeah, there's going to be people who are going to have to look that way. So I do believe this is a part of their future plans. I hope that, like you said, they incorporate it into the PS Plus general subscription, whether that means that they offer upgrade and additional costs to your PS Plus, or if they do raise maybe your PS Plus annual fee just slightly to cover it. I don't know, but I would like it to be merged in. I don't want it to necessarily be separate, but we'll see how that goes with time. But I do think it's something that we'll get sooner than later.
yeah, yeah. I think so too. Um, oh, we'll see. Last bit of news here, Joe. Again, going back to Jim Ryan and the concerns that fan base had. There was an interview where he revealed that PlayStation is making moves, right? And
Hmm.
they're not out there saying what it is, but they're definitely making some investments. So just want to read his quote: "Is we have been quietly but steadily investing in high quality games for PlayStation, and we will make sure that the PlayStation 5 generation will have more dedicated software than ever before." So I we've heard the rumors about that Silent Hill thing that's happening. Apparently, allegedly, there is a very strong deal going on with Konami right now. And I mean, again, rumors, take it with a grain of salt. But if the Konami rumors are true, that Silent Hill game is coming. Was coming is going to be a PS5 exclusive or PS5 PC. There's a Castlevania game supposedly in the works, and there are supposedly multiple Metal Gear Solid remakes being worked on.
It's big.
So, meaning multiples. I mean, they may just redo 1 through 4. That's what multiple means to me. In addition, they renewed the license for Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance again, which means that there may be a port of that coming to PS5. I'm surprised that we never got a PS4 port of that, and we got Bayonetta and Vanquish. I mean, of course, they're fantastic games, but I'm just surprised that we never got one for Vengeance. So stuff's happening, right? There was those rumors last week about Square Enix. It's like, oh, Sony's gonna buy Square Enix. Oh my goodness! And then Square Enix said we're not for sale, right?
Right.
Like they had to say something, have to come out and say something. I was like, but are you like people
Things can
spend
change.
yeah, exactly. It's like the MGM stuff that we talked about,
Yeah.
Disney and MGM. It's like, oh yeah, MGM, oh, we're not really for sale. Yeah, and we've seen that happen before. Like the Fox,
Absolutely.
like the Disney Fox thing was like
Mm-hmm.
Fox said that they were not for sale for the longest time,
Oh, for
and
sure.
then it ended up happening. I mean, it took years, but it happened.
It happened.
Um,
It's inevitable.
yeah, yeah, interesting. We'll see. I'm very optimistic. I know again we got Final Fantasy 16 and a few other things that got announced that are exclusive to the platform. So I'm very much looking forward to those. Um, your opinions on this, Joe, before we wrap
Yep.
it up?
Yeah, not much to really be said here except that Ryan's saying what he should be saying. Like this is the politically business correct thing to do and say. But I do believe it. Like I don't think he's just, spitting out hot air. Like I do think that there is absolutely, like you're saying, there's been plenty of rumors already going around. Um the whole thing of like this will have the greatest amount of software of any console, like we'll see. But
PS2 is pretty good. PS4
right,
was pretty
PS2
good.
is right. PS4 was pretty good. So I hope so. I mean, like again, like this, he's saying the right stuff. Like I do hope this is right, and do hope this is the way to go. And expectations are extremely high considering, like we've talked about, the demand for the console alone. So once you get the console in people's hands, now you got to keep feeding them good content, and you'll make plenty of money. You'll do well as a business, but keep giving out quality content, and let's hope that having these exclusive deals that are being made for this exclusive content.
Exclusive.
I'm saying exclusive like 3 times. exclusive. Yeah, I hope it pays off. So remakes are cool, but I also think original content is even cooler. So hopefully there's a good balance
Yeah,
of quality from both. That's not like the remakes get all the hype and then the original stuff is like, kind of the content's not as great. So hopefully they're all successful and good. We'll
yeah.
see.
I think so. I think they'll balance it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. Joe, that's what we got. Go ahead and wrap it up.
Yeah. Next week you and I probably have already seen Mortal Kombat, so we'll have to talk about that too
Yeah. Yep.
in the finale. Um, Good people of No Load Time, thank you for sticking with us. We want to invite you to stay connected. So please go ahead and subscribe to us on podcast platforms. We're on iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, Spotify, Amazon Music. We're out there. So please subscribe to us, as well as our video platform, which is on our YouTube channel. You can subscribe to our channel there. Also, please follow us on social media at No Load Time. That's at No Load Time on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. You also can send us an email if you have any questions, comments, or feedback you'd want to send our way. We welcome it to our email address, which is noloadtime@gmail.com. That's noloadtime@gmail.com. Thank you all very much, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Thanks, everyone. Stay safe. We will see you again next time.